I started recording and my computer crashed like a few minutes into it. I'm still recovering from trying to be sick. Alright, so into today, we just accumulated all night, right? So when we have, any period of accumulation, especially like overnight, it's very obvious that we're going to get manipulation into distribution. And we have yet to have distribution. This could be the manipulation, which would be, decent. But before market open, I'm looking at the 1 minute, I could look at the hourly. Doesn't matter how you look at it. But right here, this is the 9 o'clock candle. So before that, before this huge white candle, right, we just have this period of accumulation all night. Asia, London, and the pre-market. It's all, chop, 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 chop. Hasn't really gone anywhere. So when we have something like this formed, we can anticipate for price to make manipulation either outside of the range, and it could be down here or it could be up here, and then we'll have distribution in the opposite way. So if price was to manipulate up here, distribution would be down here, and if price was to manipulate down here, it would be distribution all the way back up, right? So coming into open, because I was open to both. I mean, best case scenario was for us to manipulate down, create SMT at the lows, take this 2 minute rejection block, which never happened, so I can get rid of that. Uninstall. Jeez. Okay. But that never happened, so, oh well. But coming into market open right here, let's go to the 15 second. Because on the 1 minute we did not create first presentation, but on the 15 second we did create first presentation. It's kind of weird how that works, right? So on the 15 second right here, we have first presentation. We'll even mark it 15 second first presentation. So if you have watched the first presentation video that I made like last week or whenever it was, I told you how we use 15 second and how we use 1 minute for entries and stop loss, and how to use it in general. So using 15 second, you are entering, a few ticks below, the top of it if it's bullish, right? And then you could even add more at CE of it, and then your stop could go right underneath CE of it, or it could be right underneath 15 second first presentation. And I took a long, I think it was like 708. So originally, to start, and then we'll just say 708, right? My stop was 13.5 points. But the second we created this swing right here, my stop goes from that 13.5 points to 4.5 points, right? So automatically, basically, like, I'm not really risking that much in that scenario. And we never even came to CE of it anyways. And then for that, I think my TP was midnight. It was midnight, so it was like 42 points, yeah, something like that. But we never reached up to it. We got kind of close. I entered like 708, so we got up here and just came back down, chop, 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 which is okay. I wasn't, too concerned about it. I didn't lose much on it. But then I waited for something else to form, right? So the next thing that forms is 1 minute first presentation. And 1 minute first presentation is formed right here. And now, on a 1 minute first presentation, our entry does go at CE. And you can see that it took CE to the tick, right? And, first TP, if you're not being greedy, could be these highs right here, right? 20 points, right? And then you could even go as far to say where my sell was, 50 points, getting close into that. So, which we never even reached into my sell. Which kind of sucks, but it's okay. Just gotta watch and adapt and not chase or anything. But what was I gonna say? So the reason that 15 second first presentation was formed was because, where is it? You can see that we created, like, this right here is a little range, right? You can see we expanded outside of that, creating a fair value gap basically over everything right here, right? But as far as the 1 minute, you can see it's not so clean, right? Like, this is that same range, but this 1 minute is still created within that range, so that's not first presentation. And even if you had used it, you would have got stopped. So it didn't work regardless. And going back to this, actually, the 15-second, where is it? Right, so you can take it for longs, right, or you can wait for it to trade through and get reclaimed. So this leg right here, this whole leg right here is the trade through of it, and then this is the reclaiming. But the second that it gets broken again, it's just not going to get used, right? So the second we break back above it, then it's just chop, and there's no use in using until we break out of that range. And you can see that we broke out of that range here, and like, I don't know, let's see how this aligns. I'm looking at this as I do this right now. Yeah, we didn't even come back into it, so I mean, we broke the range, right? We broke the range, so then you can look for this to be used as longs, if this is, any sort of, I don't know, however you want to use it. But you'd look for this to be longs and, use CE at that point, which 15-second is not so clear. But the 1 minute, on the other hand, was pretty clear. You could have took that stop loss underneath first presentation. So I mean, you have what is this? 7-point stop, 7.5-point stop. It's not too crazy. And then, coming to the hourly is where we look for where price could retrace to, or it could reject at, all that, blah blah blah. So I had this SIBI right here, right? I had this SIBI, and I wanted us to come into it right here, and we edged it by like 4 points, 3.5 points. So it got really close, but it never got hit, which sucks. And then went down for, what is this? Basically 100 points. I mean, 90 points. So there's that. And then I didn't think this was gonna get used just because I had it marked out yesterday, and it just got completely ran through. So I didn't like the idea of using it anymore. But it is still valid because of the fact that we reacted all inside here, right? And although we didn't use it here, we just used it again in this BISI, right? We reacted inside of this BISI. It's being used. Traded through. Now it's reclaimed once again. And you can see that, I could have shorted that CE of it with, let's see, 10 points. Oh. Like, say 10-point stop, Yeah. Usually when these PD arrays are under 10 points, then you have one of two places for a stop loss placement. You can use the top of it, like if you're shorting it, which then is a 6.5-point stop. Or if you just want to be super safe, you just automatically do 10 points, and you're not really risking much in that scenario anyways. And then, you could target something like midnight, so 37 points, so, maybe liquidity down here, so something like that. Or if you really want this to be distribution, then you're targeting these lows down here, so that 786 for, 140 points, about something like that. But we'll see what this does. But I just thought I'd kind of make a little recap over today, because I think aside from all the chop here, and just really just being patient, I think being patient will help a lot of people, especially when you just sit there and you watch everything. You're not chasing anything. You might see some setups form. Like I saw this forming, the city that I had, and we just edged it and didn't chase it. Just kind of sat there and watched it waddle away into what my TP would have been, probably these lows or something. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple when you pair everything. Although I didn't catch this, I just saw that, but it's all good. Hope y'all learned something. I'll see y'all next video.